Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm your host, Lenny Reed. This is the Lenny Reed Pod. This is episode 312. And today, be aware we might just find the truth. And sometimes the truth is more scarier than what everybody was telling you. All right. How's everybody doing? Let me shade up. Let me throw this out by saying I appreciate everybody that's been watching this pod. I've been out for a week or so, traveling to different locations, just trying to get my bearings. Also, put that out there. I'm gonna be at the Black Effect Podcast Fest in Atlanta. So if you in the area, holla at me. I'll be walking around there. I don't got nothing going on. I'll be down there probably with a couple people or my assistant. You know what I'm saying? If you see me, say what's up, yo. All right. Because we all podcast, even if you're there for like a YouTube channel or whatever, or you just there spectating, right? I'll be there. So holla at me. So today I wanted to get into some fun stuff. You know, anything that got to do with the truth, anything that got to do with the pyramids, anything that got to do with space, anything that got to do with, finding the truth. Because I am a X-Files baby. I think, and I can put this, in the books that I think the X-Files was probably the best show ever created. Now, if you're not into mysteries, and UFOs and paranormal and all that shit, I understand. But if you are, you would add the X-Files on your list of five. Come on, you got to do that. Up there with the Sopranos, The Wire, and your typical three or four, right? You got to add the X-Files up there. So what I wanted to do is to get into a few things that sort of had me going a little crazy. And since the UFO files that they did in Congress, which was probably bullshit. I mean, it was a dog and pony show. There hasn't been anything exciting that came out so far this year that made me think, holy shit, this is going to be the year. Except, Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of that. And I want to talk about that too, but I want to get into my theory on the Cybertrucks. I'll do that in the news section, in a few seconds. But I think if this is true, the reports that was out, if this was true, this can be the biggest discovery ever. And we might find out that, holy shit, everything we thought was, I guess everything was taught, okay, was not true. And this shit goes deep. That shit go deep. I mean, we are talking about something that will sort of shake up, I guess, in one of those movies when you got the robot thinking they're human, and then somebody actually tell them, yo, you're robot, yo. You wasn't born, you was made. And they just like freak out and shit. This would be that kind of news, but I think we in a time period that it could be, somehow swept under the rug. And we don't need that. We need the raw truth right now. We need everything to come out. Are we on a prison planet? We need all that crazy shit to just fill his head all at once so we can deal with it. The motherfuckers that don't go crazy, let them go crazy. The people that gotta go in the corner and think for a minute, recalibrate. They go in the corner and recalibrate, and then you got the ones that's gonna go on with their life like nothing happened. I don't know which one I'm gonna be. I ain't gonna be the freak out one because I've been talking about this for the longest. So I know I ain't gonna be the freaked out one. So the thing is this. Let me before I get into that, guys, I want to go over this topic that this is a theory. This is a Tesla Elon Musk theory. Now, prior to this whole situation with Tesla vehicles being burned, a lot of people, including myself, they halted on trigger pull of the Cybertruck because it was jacked up. It was a couple, $20,000-$30,000 more than originally stated. So a lot of reservations was canceled. And we talk about millions of people ordered this truck. They put their $100 up. So that gave him the front money to knock out anything that he needed to knock out. You understand what I'm saying? So once people noticed that the vehicle was basically not to their spec or more expensive, it didn't come with the shit that it was promised to come with, the FSD, the automatic, all that shit. It didn't come with it. Then he came out with a foundation series, which was like $20 more, 20,000 more. And you can add on, a couple things like that. So fast forward, he gets Trump in the presidency. Yes, he got him in. And, he's doing all this crazy stuff with Doge. And here come people turning on Tesla as stock prices drop. And all of a sudden, vehicles are being torched. Mainly Cybertrucks are being torched. But prior to that, it was a whole bunch of them sitting at, dealerships because people, canceled their reservation. So insert the fires and insert damage, but it wasn't happening to people that had Cybertrucks. It was mainly happening at dealerships that had a large inventory of Cybertrucks. So knowing the kind of people we are dealing with, what is a good way to get rid of vehicles to the point that you can take your loss and you probably get some insurance money to sort of help them extra vehicles? Yes, you set them on fire yourself. You get people to light them bitches up, collect insurance money, and that's that. Opposed to just sitting on that lot, not selling, collecting dust, dropping in value. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my theory, that just a theory, that he had his own inventory set on fire for insurance purposes. Okay. All right. So let's get to the real spill, the real deal, Holyfield. Okay. When you look at life, it's a beautiful thing. Life is a beautiful thing. And, people don't understand when they go to sleep and wake up, it's like, shit, okay, another day. Let's see what this day brings. You don't have to wake up. It's millions of people probably didn't wake up last night. So it's not a choice for you to wake up. It's not like it's a given that you're going to wake up. So when you wake up, you're like, holy shit, the sun is up, or, I feel a little bit better. I got a crick in my neck, my back hurt, and I can't breathe. Whatever illnesses you wake up with. But it's a good thing to wake up. And no matter how you look at it, we all want the truth to our existence. Because think about this. Hopefully our existence is not to wake up, work, eat shit, drink, go back to sleep, and repeat that process. Hopefully that's not it. But constantly while you working, there's other people that's working also, and they are looking for, the reasons that, we could be on this planet, like, or just alive, period. What are the reasons? What are the reasons we beat out all the mother sperm cells to bust into that egg? Then the egg turns hard, and then voila, here we come popping out the punani. And just to work, that shit don't make no fucking sense. But it happened. Happened. So the truth is out there, but the question is, are you ready to have the answer? Or can you control your emotions when you hear that answer? Or like, Jack Nicklaus said, you can't handle the truth. Can you handle the truth? Now, you got one scientist saying there's ones and zeros in the fabric of space. Okay. You got another scientist saying, there's a second dimension, the detection of another dimension. You got another one saying, report that our universe is inside of a black hole. Think about, none of this shit was even possible 10 years ago, 5 years ago. So the next 5 to 10 years, we might just crack what's going on. We might just crack the meaning of life. Or, like I said, the theory of the Grand Theft Auto theory, where, and I told people this, where you just playing Grand Theft Auto, and just imagine you a developer. It didn't even get to the customer stage yet. You're just a developer. You playing the game just to make sure all the kinks and everything is out of the game. Just say Grand Theft Auto 6 that's coming out, right? I think it's 6. You playing the game, and then this kid keep coming up to you while you playing the game, and he's saying, "Sir, I'm glad I was looking for you all day. I know you was here yesterday." You're like, "Fuck." Hey, Josh, did we program a kid to like bother us? No, I don't remember that program. Okay, so you keep playing, and you actually sitting here talking to the kid, like, "Kid, what's going on? Like, what's the problem?" And the kid is like, "Man, I need to get out of this thing. I noticed that you on the other side. You can come and leave. I want to know if I can go to your side." And you just like, what is going on here? So this kid is explaining that he know there is something outside of this game, which he shouldn't know because he's not programmed to know that. So imagine an analogy form. That kid is humans. We just prying, right? Just like that kid would be prying as you playing, as the developer is playing. And he's like, this kid is aware that he is in a game, and he want to come out the game. Now, what would that developer do if he found out this kid had a knowledge base that he was stuck in a game and there is an outside of the game that he want to go? Guess what the developer would do? You guessed it. He would reset that game. He would cut that game somehow, some way. You think he would try to entertain that? They probably will. You got some that probably will, but it would scare the shit out of somebody first, because it'll make you think, damn, are we like in a trap game also? He will reset that game. So what do you think will happen to us if this is a simulation and we just prying, and then we find out, holy shit, we got the golden ticket. Like, we have actual proof that we are in a simulation. What do you think the developers of that game or the simulation will do? They will reset it, and probably you have that somewhat Mandela effect, or just a whole nother timeline. Just zoom. You wake up one morning, everybody's white. Think about this. Everybody go to sleep. And another, I mean, shit, it's all around us. When your phone says it's going to update tonight while you sleep, right? In the midnight, you put in your code, you have that set, and it just updates. So everybody phone updates. Like, one dude that lives next to me, he probably holding his phone all night. As soon as he put it down, his phone on an update. So sleeping could be our updating. And then when you're dealing with people that's like off or something wrong with them, their updates, they're not getting updates, right? So they off, and then they have to take them away to, like, the crazy house or whatever. So on that note, we will be reset, pushed back, once the developer of this system notice that we have found the proof that we are in some kind of simulation. Okay, so let me bring this up a little closer. No, let me do it like this and do it like that. Okay, trying to see if I can get this right here. I guess this is the closest I can get it. If you see this here, this says oxygen detected in the most distant galaxy ever found. Now, and this galaxy happens to be 3.4 billion light years away, and it's oxygen detected. So come on, guys, what are we doing here? Like, Somebody, one of these scientists is going to crack the code. There was if you was to zoom out in just deep space and you see trillions and trillions of galaxies, God, a fucking galaxy, yo, galaxies, and there's trillion stars, galaxies, and if you say a trillion stars or hundreds of billions of stars, how many planets? But then again, there is no way to see any activity. Yeah, you can see, you can detect oxygen, but even in our galaxy or neighboring galaxies, Andromeda, right? You see no activity of life or intelligent life, life that can travel outside of their own solar system or their own star. You would see that because at that point, these individuals, right, whether they carbon or um, silicone, right? They would need energy and they would have to take energy, and then you would see, stars being gobbled up. But you see none of that shit. You see none of that shit, right? And all of this is basically light. So I just don't understand why people can look at this and just go on with the rest of their day, go on with the rest of, the rest of their day, right? So that gotta it's kind of crazy because I look at it like this. I look at it like something like that. First of all, it's too close to the Big Bang to even be formed a full galaxy like that. So that's questioning the whole Big Bang theory. And to be that far back to have oxygen, which is the number one connection of life. I don't know. Maybe the devices that we are building for the simulation is still scaled to the point that we cannot overpower the simulation. So we always be a scale lower to not see the seams and the back door and what's behind the curtain, right? So maybe what are we seeing here is things we supposed to see. Now let's bring this in. Now that's 14. That's 14 billion. No, 13.4 billion light years away, which is forever, like forever. Let's take it to this beautiful place that I've never been, but oh my God, I cannot wait to go now. Egypt. Now, this is my theory, and I heard other people say this about Egypt. Egypt is a beautiful place. It's in my list, was on my list. You know what? I might just go sooner because I was just saying, yeah, I can wait a couple years, hit all these other places. But I think now I have to go to Egypt. So I might just go next year. If anybody want to roll, just hit me up. All right. I might just go to Egypt next year because the news that came out of Egypt is a beautiful thing. Because I always thought whoever they show in the pyramids, right, were not the original, makers. Was not the original makers of the pyramid. Okay. So my thing is this. They probably that shit is so old that they probably came upon it and just took it over. It was already desolate. Nobody lived in it. And they just took it over. They start burying people there, putting artifacts in there, writing shit all on the walls. But that shit was already there. Even if you go with the watermarks on the Sphinx, that shit was probably there when the climate was different. It was probably there before the Ice Age. It was probably there 50,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, even a million years ago. Now people laughed at that shit. Ha ha, that's so funny. A million years ago, whatever, whatever. The new info that came out, even though they still breaking it down, and that could also be bullshit. But if it is true, this will be the biggest thing that has ever come to humans in a long time. Okay. The biggest. Because that means that whoever built the pyramids were way far advanced than us. Whoever built the pyramids, now you can take it back. You can really probably lean into that Anunnaki story or something similar. You can really dance that shit around your head if you want to. Before, I was sort of 50-50 with the Anunnaki story, but it just goes with all the writings of the Bible, the different versions. So the thing is this. We have to figure out what's going on. Now, like I said, I have to get to the hold on, got the garage door. I have to get to where I'm going. Ooh, that light. Sorry about that. So the thing is this. We know that life is life, but this is something different. So let's look at what's going on here. Okay. Now, this is what they found here, right? If you look at this, they let me see. If you see this, they have coils. The coils, right? And they say those coils go deep. And also, they got little tunnels going around the coils. Right? And they got these big ass square. I mean, this shit is humongous. This shit goes deep. You understand what I'm saying? It goes deep, deep. If this is true, what the fuck, man? What does this mean? I think that, your regular scientists, or what they call it, Egyptologists, or the ones that digging up the pyramids and mummies and shit like that, they don't want to hear this because they want that to be their people. This goes way. To me, either our timeline is way off, or I don't know. Just looking at this, I ain't take my glasses off. Just looking at this, you have all of this shit under it, and we talking about the death of these coils. What could this be? Could this be some kind of energy field? Could this be some kind of that's why they align with different stars and shit? I think it's the Orion or some shit like that. Could it be something to the effect that I don't know. Could it be some kind of transportation? Or we are talking about an advanced civilization that just came and did what they did and they left, just like the Anunnaki story. And this is what's left. And if you're thinking about time, a lot of things have showed up, or a lot of probably, or this could be just early humans. It could have been a whole group of humans here a million years ago. They got so advanced and they left. And they just showing us where they went. Wherever these stars that align with the pyramids, that's where they went. That's where to look for them at. Whenever we get to that possibility, which is probably never. So this little rendering is funny, but hey, we undo. It's stating that this is some kind of machine. the pyramid is some kind of machine. So I don't know. I don't know. This is, like I said, guys, this will be one of the biggest findings in history if it's true. You can't really tell a day if something true or not. People holding stuff up and doing mirror and just this could be another form of distraction, another form. But if this is true, and I think they need to do more research, and it's not just one pyramid, it's all of them. So I think this will become um, very instrumental in the human race trying to figure out where we came from, and this will help us go in the direction that we go. But also, it could it can turn a whole nother direction. This can be how we as humans got here. You get what I'm saying? What if we find the ship or the place deep, deep underground that we came, people before us came, and we are not really or originally from Earth? Which, if you look at everything else here, everything has hair on it. Everything from, the animals all the way to the monkeys, everything got hair on it, but we don't have hair on us. So is it a possibility that we are from another place? I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, more things will come out. And I think us humans, this is a beautiful time to be alive. Think about it. You could have been alive when they was riding around on horses and shit, and they had no soap. I think they had soap, but they didn't have no hot water. Right? Do you want to be you want to be in that time period? You wearing a hot ass suit or she wearing a hot ass dress, and there is no feminine products. So this is a beautiful, beautiful time to be alive, guys. And I hope the news, this is my prediction. This is my hope. This is my prayer that we get some news that will shock the hell out of everybody to the point that niggas need therapy. Okay? We're not from here. We are from a whole nother galaxy or on the other side of our galaxy, right? The Anunnaki story is true. We are on a prison planet. All that shit. I just hope all that fucking shit is true. It'll be a beautiful thing. All right. So all I can say, guys, is this. Stay away from the distractions of the current president and all the shit that he's doing. And look at science journals. Look at different things that these scientists is doing and these new programs that they put in. AI computer chips, supercomputers, all that shit. Pay attention to all of that shit because it all comes to finding out the truth. Because when the truth comes, that shit is going to back smack everybody. So you want to be prepared mentally and physically. All right. You have a wonderful day. Peace out.